Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Okay, hello? Now I can hear. Now you can hear. Now you can hear us.
Hello?
It says that it's playing now.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go.
Okay, it's just behind. But why wasn't it letting this one? Right, because I have this set up to it.
So it's got two cameras now.
Yeah. I am going to see if I can hide that screen, but can you still hear us?
Can you still hear us, Jana? Okay.
Okay, so this has to be on there. That's okay. It's all right if it's way behind. Okay. Well, now I think we'll be okay. Yeah. We're just going to have both on, and this will just point that way, and that's fine. We'll just have two camera views. Who doesn't like that? Yay. Dumb stuff. Okay. Let's try this again, y'all. We don't have to go through the whole warm-up. All of you heard us go through the warm-up silently. Or saw us. You can hear us. Thank you, Larita, for letting us know that you could not hear us. I very much appreciate that. Be lifting while we're doing this workout. Sorry, we have two camera angles, and I have to figure out where to look now. That's going to be complex. This one's going to follow us, and this is where, yeah, anyhow. Okay, so we went through our warm-up. We're going to be working out while we talk about hip pain, menopause, like people who are dealing with hip pain, women who are dealing with hip pain, they're going through menopause or perimenopause, and how weightlifting can help them with that. So we are going to do a workout while we do that, which I'm very excited about personally. And we went through the warm-up. Today's workout is going to have some cleans, kettlebell swings, sled push, tempo sumo squats, and then we got barbell overhead press, pike push-ups, and then we got pendulum kettlebell walkouts and the pikes for the workout. So we're going to do a 5x5. So I'm going to set this camera up. Let's see to see these two platforms, because I think we'll probably break into two. Because I don't think you guys want to do my rotation.
No, I don't even want to have anything.
I don't have
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Well, okay, you're not going to go over 10.
No. Nope.
I cannot remember who did it.
And we are just doing.
I think I did. What is this? What's this one? Not. We're going to do the trap one.
That's the hang. That's probably what hang. All right. This is a 35-pound bar. I'm going to do mine on the 35-pound bar because I like the grip better. I like the grip better. You guys can use your 45. I know you. Yeah. And everything in kilograms.
Even these are.
Yeah. Most of them. Yes. Part of the workout, right here. Okay, I know that my power is 125. So we're gonna work up some weight. He is 125. You guys are gonna do an RPE if you don't know your power. You probably know your hang clean back. I feel like 155. Yeah, I think 155 is actual. The hard part is okay, so the most recent case that I've seen is somebody with hip pain. Dealing with that. Yeah, I guess let's start talking about like what's often causes hip pain in people who have menopause, women who have menopause. Well, let's start there. What causes it in the first place?
Yep.
Got to take that. Gonna take 5.
Yeah.
I'll warm it up.
Get at it.
Yeah, you got it. Well, you can't do hang clean. Hang clean or not. Full power clean. Clean on balloon. Right. Well, you have to do your deadlifts. You're trying to work on a power point. Or power clean. That's why you go to to make it a little more easier movement. And then, yeah, you don't have to do very much. We're gonna do that one.
But we're gonna see.
Yeah, you can. But yeah, when you're in between, just talk about what you like. I guess we're talking about etiology. We'll talk about that. Etiology is just means, yeah, what cause.
Well, I think I don't know if our mic's wrong yet, but I think you kind of said it. Because that's not.
I know. I'm already at that moderate high heart rate.
But I thought maybe when we start going to menopause, a lot of women know that our bonus is
I don't know if I'm yeah, I don't think they will. I think we said that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's usually when
that's the right? About how
department, all of the folks.
The last part.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that like most often it's most often caused by yeah, I would say it's most often caused by like what you guys were talking about, like your hormones change, and so your body starts breaking down. So it's easier to get osteoporosis, and that means because soccer doesn't because I mean natural wear and tear, and then part of it is taking on the blood, and then yeah, you're taking off. I don't know. Oh, no, that's fine. Actually, that's fine. Anyhow, yeah.
let me know.
I think it looks good so far. Yeah, it's a little bit more of a dump.
We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks wrong.
Athletic.
That looks good.
Yeah.
There we go. When I would also like to say, anybody I have who has that pain, like if they're going through menopause, you want to get them under load, this is definitely included. If I can work them up to barbell work and they will allow me to do it, because they're like, all right, give me what I need to do. I love getting into cleans because it adds a little bit of that speed with moving weight. And we're not starting speed when we get started with that, but we need to start with something.
Yeah.
Because like once we're getting out of pain, then we need to get used to load. Like most people are looking at us doing this right now and they're like, if I have arthritis, how am I going to do these same things, right? Especially women.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Every time you want to go on a walk,
Arthritis. Like I look at this and I'm like, I can't do this movement, and I'm like post-college athlete, like not even in my 30s yet, and I'm like, this is an intimidating move to do. Like so, yeah. Add arthritis and a menopause and age onto that can make it even more intimidating for sure. Like, oh, and that's some heavy weight dropping. I'm gonna try.
Yes. So like, but Haley, to your point, I think that's a good thing to bring up because like we're in like the later parts of rehab for you, working on building out programming to help support you. And like every time you come in, it's so exciting. Every time you come in, you're like, man, I've never felt this good playing volleyball. Like since college and like after all my surgeries, and I've never like I was the number one rower at my cross orange theory class yesterday in my age group. And like, I mean, this is just like, yeah, she said that would never happen last year. You were. I remember when we went to that class. Go to another orange theory class. They probably love that. Yeah, if you're a gym owner and you want us to bring our podcast to you, just let us know. I'll do that. Yeah, I've actually get women do this kind of thing. Yeah. Like a lot of people are just resistant most often we don't see themselves. They don't see themselves as like athletes or as adults. And then you be like a runner who does like marathons. I'm sorry. If you run marathons, you're a freaking athlete. We're not going to talk some more here. Like, oh, that was awesome. Girl, that was good. Yes, girl. Now you get a little more up. You got it. Was that 3 or 4? 3. It was 3. Okay. Yeah! Run it. 4. There you go. You're almost dropping 1 low. 2 low. Okay. Almost. Good job. That never like doesn't surprise me. And if I want loud this way, I get the jump scare a lot. For those of you that don't know, I scare very easily. Yeah.
That's how it works.
Well, that's one camera. Yes. So that's the other.
So I'm like, not in that one.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Like, I get
next move, you can leave or live.
I know if I can get people power movements, I try to. Because, like, all right, let's think about this. Go back to our running example. For a marathon, 10K, none of that is us. Do that all the time. And it might not be 10K, but like in general, they're running a lot. And they're getting that's some people be like, well, why do I have to run? Why couldn't I, or why do I have to lift weights? Like, if I'm running enough to build up that bone density because I'm active, forces in a similar way. And for some reason, no. That's what we found in the research. Like, you build it up to the first point, but you don't really get beyond that. You think that point is going to be hard.
One day.
So, like, we don't know why, like, oh, if I just return to my sport, my body will just build a tolerance to the weekend, and I don't have to do weight training or don't have to do training on top of it. And that doesn't happen. Like, research doesn't show it working. And personally, if I had to break that down, I think a lot of that is trying to go back way too far. We don't know in general as we're learning where that limit is. Perfect. Yeah.
Well,
Anyone but the
There you go. That was my first legit drop. Legit, not a bar. And I would like to say another thing. A lot of people are like, Oh,
No, just those ones.
right.
Those,
Yeah, these are okay. But one other thing I'd like to say is that, like, people were talking about, I've never lifted so much in my life, right? This used to be my 1 rep max in high school. As a high school senior, this was my power clip 1 rep max. And now I'm repping at 5 by 5. Like, you don't peak in high school.
no.
Unless you just stop training. But the real answer is that, like, you probably stopped training. So no, you can't do it anymore. But, like, if you keep working at it, building muscle, you keep building muscle. You know what I mean?
Me, I don't really after
Really?
softball was not
Okay.
a sport or it was more a class.
Well,
There's a lot of issues. So I'm like that.
well, let's be real. Too, like, a lot of, especially back in school, like weightlifting in college in a regimented way was beginning to be popular because people went to NAIA school, didn't go to an NCAA school. And it's just now that that's becoming more standardized. But it's expensive to do. It's a lot of places, like especially small schools, NAIA free. It's NCAA free. They don't necessarily have a same conditioning coach on staff because it's expensive. And honestly, we understand the value of preventive, but not everybody does.
I think
Nice.
our high school athletes.
There you go. Okay, I see why you have knee pain. Make sure that your feet are equal when you land. Your right foot's like behind you.
Oh god.
So keep your left foot. Yeah. You're compensating for it.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that they are our patients? What side are you good on?
That was my last one.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so.
This side? Yeah, this is my last one. All right. Haley, talk about cases where while we're looking, where a menopause or perimenopause woman is taken with pain, but it wasn't the head.
Yeah, I don't know really.
Right.
Yeah. And she came in with this like chronic bilateral hip pain, really high levels, rating it 7 to 8 out of 10 at times, and just shooting down the sides of her legs, kind of like your IT down. So that's kind of what we started. You're asking me, things to get better, but not completely. And then she was a bit young to be going through some menopause stuff, but we kind of started talking about those changes. And I've been trying to do better about, when I have something like a hip or even like a knee or anything or activity or something like that, or living or. And so I think on the new day I've actually we're like, you hear that good? So we check out that stuff. Their mobility or extension is horrible. Actually, but we started having some of that stuff in combination with the hip strengthening that's up there with them. And it turned out like, okay, yeah, this is you're back. We feel like that happens a lot underneath the like cause like or whatever. But that happens pretty often. Where I'm working on someone's hip. It's not actually the hip. Or like it looks like it's a hamstring. And it's not the hamstring. Kind of referring to those areas. But yeah, started working on that. And things turned around a lot faster. She's still working on strength, getting consistent with that, but that kind of pushed her past this like little hump.
Well, I'd say also, like, because something that we focus on a lot is, like, if we get an order from a doctor or a patient comes in with some kind of pain, we're still going to rule in or out other spots. Because, yes, girl.
Struggle.
Yeah, we need this clear so we can do our clip push. But we're still going to rule in or out, like, what is causing the issue. Because, like, you have one set of eyes on it, it's like doctor referred you, or like the body is telling you one thing. But I can't tell you how many times I've had someone and I like evaluate them and it's like, yeah, that looks like it actually might be your hip.
Yeah.
Dude, they just go by, nothing's freaking changed. And I'm like, well, son of a gun.
Yeah.
And then you go evaluate the next thing, like, all right, let's look at the back, let's look at the SI, let's look at the knee. Oh, look at that. And then you change their pain and it's like 75% better on one visit. And you're like, you missed it. But the quicker figure it out is how many people have like 6 things going on at the same time. It's never one body part. Never. Never. Never.
I keep telling people that it's like a pie. Your pain is a pie, and there's a slice from different things. And you're just trying to figure out what slice is the majority of it.
Yeah.
But if you forget the other slices, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we are going to do sled push, kettlebell swing, and tempo sumo squats. So I'm going to get us set up and split this side.
But yesterday asked me if we had a sled. I'm like, I don't know.
We do.
We do.
She's nice. Yeah, so we're going to do sled, and then let's do kettlebell and tempo, like right here.
Okay.
I mean, we can do another sets too. I want to do 100-foot sled push.
Yeah.
So that's going to be all the way down, and you're only going to do one. So we're going to weight it up pretty heavy. Like today's a heavier weight day, which is why I've modified some of our sets and reps for that. So kettlebell swings, we're going to do 3x15 at an RPE of 7. For those who don't know what an RPE is a rate of perceived exertion. Nobody can see me. That's super cool. But RPE is a rate of perceived exertion. Sled push, you'll see it here in just a little bit. And then a tempo, we're going to do that 3x100 feet, so it's just one down. And then a tempo sumo squat at a 3x7, and our tempo is going to be an 8, a 2, and then come up.
8 second down, 2 second hold.
Yeah, and then come straight back up. Yeah, that's why we're only doing 3 sets. So we're going to do, nope. Anyhow. We're going to do 3 sets of those, of all of those. So 3x15 kettlebell swings, 3x100 foot sled push, 3x7 tempo sumo squats, 8-2-0. All those in RPE of 7, which an RPE of 7 is our rate of perceived exertion. Rate of perceived exertion is what you do if you don't come one right back on something. Not all the time, a lot of times. So, this sled push is going to be heavy. For those who don't know, push is a big posterior chain workout where it's pull and form an anterior, right? Yeah. Pull and form an anterior chain. Push is more of the posterior chain. Which is what I wanted. Because we're doing posterior chain for like split. So we can all start on different ones, we're all starting the same. Not a big deal. Whatever you're feeling. And for those of you who don't know the difference between anterior chain and posterior chain,
What's the other? What was the third one?
Tempo and then a kettlebell.
Posterior chain, hands, grab, back swing, center, anterior chain, quads, shins, hip flexors, abs, and then when you're done, try to do or side over. A lot of times you're going to single leg work.
Tempo.
Yeah.
Alright, I gotta get out of the way. Sled. And not.
Oh, it's like this is a long time.
See how it goes.
Right. So this is
Let's
just
see
a
if
rip.
it's too heavy.
The kettlebell swing just.
All right.
Like all the way up. So be like company all the way.
We may not all do that. That's fine.
8 seconds is a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. My patients say that too. And I agree with them. Now let's see. What else? Oh, I was telling the girls about one of the stories I had. Menopause patient, post-menopause patient, hip pain, got a hip replacement. And this was years ago. Got a hip replacement. Yeah, you might have to slide those off. That's totally fine. Totally fine. I'm also gonna do this camera, otherwise everybody's gonna get a lot of butt. A lot of swats. Which some people may like that, but that's not exactly our target audience. Let's put it that way. No! Sit down. There we go. Yeah, now we can see the push without a lot of butt.
Gosh.
Good job, girl. 40 pounds. Let's go.
8 seconds is a long time.
Tie me up.
What's this?
26. 26 pounds. I wasn't sure.
I feel like I should start where you started. Because I'm a little worried.
That?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that. It wasn't heavy at first, but
Well, yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Yes, Jana. Jana, you probably want to get a little lower. Like, hold it lower and get more parallel with the ground. So put your shoulders in line with your butt, in line with your wrists. Yeah. There it is. Oh, I went way too fast. 1, 2,
I know I was counting out loud.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
You wrote that.
I wrote that. And also, this is how you get lateral body.
Oh my gosh.
We were talking about single leg work. This is how you get 2 feet lateral body. Oh my god. Yep. 1, 6, 7, 8. Woo. All right. Does your PT even lift?
Like, I knew it was track.
Oh. No, you need to have more weight. That was not what was that RP? Like 4? Quattro?
Next time you need to add those.
Yeah, I probably should. I probably should try that.
Yeah. I'm stretching into this. All right, Dana, while you're waiting, because I don't need to listen to me breathe really hard. Tell them about a case. I need to finish my case. I'll do it next.
I know I was thinking about this. And I was like, man, my brain, my memories. I can think of I can think of some hip replacement cases, like
No.
hip pain,
Like doing 8 of them.
with a post-op, like hip replacement cases at that age and like perimenopause. And I don't know if that's applicable to the question.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at her doing these because.
Some hip replacements go well.
Build muscle.
I can just remember, like, I don't know if you want to hear like a horror story or like a hip
Oh.
replacement case or not, but
Tell all of them. I'll tell you mine afterwards. She was fine.
yeah. I didn't see this person post or pre-operatively, but
That might be a little late.
essentially it sounds like the surgeon lengthened the femur with the hip replacement, and she ended up with drop foot. And it wasn't great. So I mean,
I've seen those before. This sucks.
there's also some hip replacements are really smooth. This one was not, felt really bad. But you can't really
Trying to get a different angle.
guarantee with any surgery a good outcome.
So you're saying they tensioned the nerve on the hip replacement?
Yes.
Yikes. Yeah, we're talking about hip
It
replacements a
did
little
not
bit.
it did not fully resolve.
Yeah.
There was some nerve damage with that.
I can't see you. They want to watch us work out, Dana.
Oh well, that's where the kettlebells left. So I assume.
Yeah. My horror story. Another hip replacement. Post-menopause. Got the hip replacement. What was this one? Yeah. My hip replacement. What is this? Was this 12? 15? 18?
Did she even write the workout, guys? Did she write that?
This is why I have a copy of it. My brain is not my brain. My blood is not my brain right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Ay, ay, ay.
All right. Yeah. What do you guys do for kettlebell swings? Ooh, I did this one. I did this one. Yeah, my horror story. We should actually write our weights before we leave today. We don't have to right now, but my horror story was hip replacement post-menopause. Already had osteoporosis, which those are a very common correlation. Hip pain, get joint replacement, but you also have osteoporosis or osteopenia. Osteoporosis is where the bone. Okay, so I feel like I break this down. Your bone is constantly being broken down by osteoclasts.
I always think it's the opposite of
I
what
always
they
mess up.
say.
Osteoblasts.
Osteoblasts break down. Osteoclasts build up. Osteoclasts break down.
To be determined.
All right, well, someone get on Google or ChatGPT. It's there.
That was something
Not
I used to
hard.
I'm
mess
pretty
up
sure it's blasts. I want to say
constantly.
You have osteoblasts and osteoclasts. And one of them breaks down bone, while the other one builds it up.
Nope, you're right, Jamie. We should never
Osteoclasts?
question our osteoclast breakdown. Blast build up.
All right,
Blast
blast
build.
Blast it. Like
Yeah, right. But blast build.
They build.
Class, tear down. Catastrophe. Anyhow, so naturally with your bone, even a healthy person, your bone's getting broken down by osteoclasts, your body is building back up with osteoblasts. Usually the osteoblasts are working faster than the osteoclasts. And the reason for that is that you're a healthy person, and the purpose of the blast even working, osteoclast even working, is to get rid of old cells, and the blast's job is to make new cells. So that way you have a new your cells are always being replaced. So that way they're fresh as they can be. So they work as properly as possible. When you go through menopause, the hormones change, and that osteoclast breakdown can speed up past the osteoblast, creating new cells, new bone. So, yeah.
That's the last time.
Oh, yep. Those are American. Russian and Silver Heights.
It's like even the
I was
I
gonna
know.
do them the other way because I saw you doing them, and now
Well, I saw both of you doing it that way, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm wrong. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so anyhow, they got a hip replacement, and what ended up happening is because they had osteoporosis, every time they stepped, so metal is harder than bone most often, and when you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, it gets worse. So there's a rod in her femur, and then a metal ball to the joint, and a metal hip cup that ball sits in. And that shaft that runs through the femur, as she was walking, her bone was so soft and that gravity was pulling on her body and pushing that shaft deeper and deeper into her femur, where she started getting a leg length issue. And she had impingement from that. So her hip flexion kept getting worse and worse because the joint kept sinking into the hip and into the bone. And I mean, they did an X-ray of her pelvis, and like where the socket is, like the metal socket, there's like this much bone between that and her internal organs. It was like centimeters. Now it stopped there, and that's probably because we were starting more active stuff at PT. But she was one. Even after all of that, she should have been weightlifting. This was back when I was in network and I didn't really have access to all of this. And I really had access to all of this. But like I would have had her on a plan to be here seeing me every like month for probably a year or two. And then giving her workouts to do or finding her a workout class to be a part of.
Yeah.
So that way I could just adapt what she needed to that workout class. Then she was at least adding load. Now, why is it good when you have osteoporosis to add load? That's this. Jesus. Woo! So, if I had had her here, I would have started her on weight training, and it would have included a lot of this stuff. Because the only way, when your bone is not broken anymore, the only way you build up bone is weight training. Adding load, adding gravity. Because that causes those osteoblasts to build more bone faster, and the osteoclasts can break down. Now, I think it would be too bold to say it reverses osteoporosis. Because I've never really seen that in particular.
Or seen it hurts.
Right. I can't say I've seen blood work that says da 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 da. But I can say that it halts it.
Yeah.
And people's function improves and they're less likely to fracture afterwards. So even if their numbers aren't changing, their body's more durable and less frail.
Yeah.
It's a huge issue with women when they go through, I keep saying women when they go through menopause, that like, they become more frail because they aren't lifting weight anymore.
Yeah.
So.
I think you talked about that. Hormone changes and how that.
Not as much as I should have.
I'll go push that.
Not an expert.
I'll go push that.
But
No, but we know a lot, so say what we do know.
with declines in estrogen,
Yep.
I think there's
This feels light.
less collagen fibers and I think affect tendons around the hip, the muscles around the hip. Estrogen is needed for bone buildup. Yeah. Yes, it's confirmed. So that decline in estrogen can lead to why we see osteopenia, osteoporosis, and it can contribute to muscle imbalances. I believe. So around that perimenopausal time, and what Jamie just talked about, like, it's wet, right? It's good to add weightlifting to that because it's gonna slow those processes. I don't know much about like hormone replacement therapies or if that's been studied, but they could be. Oh, I think yeah, the turning is what I was like so big. Okay. I'll go
I think you
sideways.
can do this. You can do this. That was easier. That was easier for me than I thought it was going to be. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, so what I would add to what Karen was talking about, hormone replacement therapy, how much we know about it, that's not really our line of expertise. All we know, like the main thing we learned, and I would say we didn't even necessarily learn this perfectly at PT school.
Yeah. Yeah. You got it. You got it.
Yes, girl! You might need one.
There you go. There you go. Ah.
Can I do
Make-
Nice try though. You had it. You had it.
to make it all go down?
That was really good.
That was good. You pushed it well. Shoot, did I just ruin that? Do it again. Don't let me do that. Don't let me do that.
All good.
Woo! Yeah, that still looks pretty hard.
Sorry, everybody, for yelling at me.
Woo! Speaking of which, if anybody's on right now, feel free to ask us questions. We're just working out and talking about hip pain, menopause, weightlifting, and why it's important and how it affects certain things. But in different sports, I would say. Like we were talking about running earlier, but if you have questions on this or another topic, just pop it in the chat. We can see them. We'll answer them over here. But yeah, let's see.
Let's do.
I have one more.
Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking.
Jenna was on mic. So yeah, I think that was 3 sets of 2.
It's been 2. And we're not done. We haven't even hit arms yet. I don't know if we'll hit core today. I think my workout was a little long for the day. That's not a lot of core in it already. I think just do the arms and cut out the core.
Or core and cut out the arms.
I need arms. You guys could do the core if you wanted to. I'm gonna do the arms. I have plans to bar muscle up in the next year or 2. Fine, you are. You're not sounding. But yeah, what I'd add to that is that no, we don't specialize for that hormone stuff. Honestly, you're gonna get a lot of times people are looking at potentially hormone replacement therapy, or they're looking at like managing menopause symptoms as they're going through it.
Take this off. I'm not like wrong.
So it's like, but what I would say is that we want to modify the other things that PT can help you control, which is basic wellness things. So I've been listening more to women's stuff since I had my baby, since I had Freya, and I've been trying to figure out more like a better understanding of like how I should eat, how hard I should push myself, when am I most likely to hurt myself, things like that, based on my cycle. Because a lot of times we don't talk about those things. For women, we pretty much do everything based on like a male cycle, which is a day, and a female cycle is 30 days. And what we mean by cycle is a hormone cycle. So when we go through menopause, God, healthcare is just a black hole for female hair. It's like a bad word right now. But good job.
Oh my God.
You're killing that. Nice job.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I need to do heavier weight. Mine don't look like that, so I need to make them a little harder. But yeah, what we do know is that what Jana was saying, how estrogen and progesterone change as we go through menopause, and that affects bone growth. And exercising and weight training is not necessarily going to change that, but like change that loss, because your female organs would shut down. That's the way it goes. But weight training can help prevent some of that stuff. And to be honest, when you look up the research exactly why. I know that testosterone goes up when you go through menopause. And so I'm wondering if you're just using that to build like muscle, and like if that helps with some of that bone build up too. I would have to look at the research on that though. It's been a while since I've been in grad school to look at hormone stuff. Gonna be honest. Usually I'm sending people to like funk med or family practice or an OB for that kind of stuff. And if you have comments on where I can look for some of that stuff, put them in the comments. Like, I would love to know more. Female health is at 50% of our staff, of our clients. Probably more than that, to be honest.
So, 90% of our staff.
90% of our staff, 50% of our clients. Hey, Trevor. Only male working with us.
Not even anywhere near.
Right, yeah. What else? Okay, so it's going to get off the hip topic a little bit. But we got on the hormones. Do you know some of the info on hormones, like on ACL tears in females?
I don't.
Okay.
Last one.
So it's not.
Say the number. It was like 75% on.
Yeah, it's a crazy high number. It's like 50 to 75% of girls who tear their ACL is they're on their period.
My friend just announced to me that she was pregnant. She found out that she was pregnant the day that she just like dislocated her knee. I had a friend just a couple weeks ago tell me that she found out she was pregnant, and then later that day dislocated her knee really bad playing pickleball, and now is having surgery. But I told her, I said, you know what's crazy is that probably wouldn't have happened if you weren't pregnant.
Well, because
because she'd been 4
Talk
weeks
about
pregnant or
hormone
something.
changes
Yeah.
in pregnancy.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm
The
not saying
joints
for
are-
sure, and I wasn't saying it to make her feel bad, but I just was like throwing that out there. I was like, dang, that's kind of crazy to think that that might not have happened if she wasn't pregnant when that happened. But
Was it a contact?
no.
So it was just, yeah, right. That contact.
Yeah.
Could have been
Yeah.
more. Yeah. Would you say that that helps people understand when and how to lift and to change their lifts when they're on the cycle?
Yes, holy shit. First
Thank
cuss
you.
word.
It's okay. I already said a cuss word
Oh, I didn't even notice.
on the
That's how-
sled push.
Bless you for not letting me christen that. But yes, so that's a good example of like back to our ACL example. Like we don't know enough about female hormones and how they affect the female body because the differences are significant enough to where like women injure themselves in car accidents more than men because seatbelts aren't like they're made for men. They're not made for women. And that's a real stat. Like, could I find the exact number? For sure. Do I know it off the dome? No. But that's real data that we like have more car accidents that hurt women because seatbelts and airbags are made for men. Like that's who they've been tested on. And I know, and this is where I'm getting into like where there's a little bit of research here, but I'm playing around with my own personal health because of this. So I was listening to Huberman Labs actually. This is a podcast of his like a month ago, I want to say. I love his stuff. If you're looking for good health and wellness stuff and research-based stuff, I love listening to his stuff. And it's easier for me to listen to than to read, which is why I like it. But he was talking about intermittent fasting. And I am like a year out from baby, like a little bit more than a year. Look at Snatch. No, just kidding. But I'm trying to get back to my pre-baby weight so that way I feel good in my body when I'm playing sports and I'm not putting as much stress on my joints. Because there is a certain amount of stress that gets put on when you are overweight or you have more weight than you should. And specifically fat-based weight, not muscle-based weight. Both put stress on your joints. The fat-based weight, your body can't necessarily tolerate as well. Muscle-based weight, because you spent time building up your muscle and your tendons and your bones to tolerate that load, your joints handle it a little bit better. But I've been trying to get down to a healthy weight, basically, back down since I had my baby. And y'all, just like side note, I gained 40 pounds when I had my daughter. I was 200.
While you're pregnant.
Well, I was
Yeah.
like at my peak of pregnancy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like I don't feel bad about it, but like 200 pounds is just so much. That's
The number.
the number. I've never seen that number before, and it just kept climbing. And I was just like, it's okay, but it just like to know that that's how much my body gained to have a baby was nuts. And some of it wasn't just baby. Some of it was like I ate too much or I ate things I was craving. Now, did I have a healthy pregnancy? Yes. Am I recovering just fine? Yes. I'm not worried about it. But it was just the number was astounding because I'd just never seen it before for myself. But as I've been trying to get back to pre-baby weight, size, and also feeling with my workouts, like the weight is just one part of it. It's not just like, it's not like I need to look a certain way. It's like I want to feel a certain way.
100%. You lost that in a row.
Yep. I want to feel good.
Well, great.
And honestly, I have more muscle in me than I've ever had in my life. So the weight is going to look higher because it is. Muscle weighs more than fat. And I'm okay with that. So it's only one thing that I'm looking at. But as I'm going through this, I've been looking at like, I did the RP diet, which is a common like CrossFit diet and weight training diet. And I felt really good on it. Do you know?
What did you say?
We'll just take my time.
Okay. Just making sure. But
That's not the heavy part.
So I was on the RP diet and I felt really good on it every single week except for the week before my period. And that's known as the luteal phase, and it's when your hormones change drastically. Like estrogen and progesterone are moving around a bunch during your 30-day cycle. And I don't remember which is which, but one goes really low, and that's like the hormone that helps you feel really good, and the other one goes really high. I want to say it's progesterone goes really high. That's what I was thinking. I want to say. But anyhow, that week you usually feel like crap. Your body is using 200 to 300 calories more per day. So you're craving more. Your emotions are all over the place. You might break out in acne. It's usually just a less fun week than normal. And that varies from woman to woman. Some people have more symptoms, some people have less. We're not going to comment on like what's normal because it's all over the place. But I was noticing when I was on RP during that week, I felt like dog shit. Like way more than normal. Like not just like, oh, I'm a little hungry because I'm on a diet and I'm like cutting calories. I'm on a cut. No, like I was like famished and unhappy and like to the point where I think my glucose was low enough that I was like, I need to go to bed or take a nap. And more than like the normal. So I did not like that feeling. It didn't feel good in my body. So I stopped doing it. And I was listening to a couple things. I listened to Keeper from Labs on intermittent fasting. And I listened to the book on tape, Fast Like a Girl. Keeper from Labs, very research-based. He comments when he's not talking about research. Fast Like a Girl, some research, some not. So if you listen to that book or you read that book, just know that like some of that is research-based, some of it is not. Doesn't mean it's bad information, just means we haven't researched it. We don't know what works, we don't know what doesn't. And honestly, being a female is a black hole, who knows? I have to do that one more time, Jana. Sorry, hon. But, I mean, female health is a black hole. So, like, I'm willing to try some stuff as long as it's not, like, super invasive or, like, scary, unhealthy for me. So, I read the book and I applied some of that. And basically now, the cut that I'm on right now feels really good to me and my body. Like, I focus on my macros more than I focus on calories. I'm trying to get 160 grams of protein a day. I'm trying to stick to 70 grams of fat. I only eat between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. That's a 10-hour eating window. Some people like 8. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. I prep my food every week on Sundays and then Wednesdays. And the week before my period, because I'm regular, the week before my period, I don't intermittent fast at all. And I also don't keep track of my macros other than trying to get 160 grams of protein. So I ignore because that feels good to my body. And I'm still reaching my goals while I'm doing it as I'm tracking that like month over month. So that has been what feels good to me and has fluctuated with like my cycle and my hormone. And I relate that back to how hard should we push ourselves? What should we do when we're going through our cycle? How do we prevent injury? A lot of it comes down to like bodily stress and how much you're putting on it. I am unique in the fact that I usually can lift fairly similarly, even on my period, like weight-wise. But that's not most women.
Not me.
Right. And that's okay, right? But I have way more issue with like what I'm eating, how it affects me, my sleep, my stress, my emotions. Those affect me more. So I have to do more to address that specifically. I don't know. What are your guys' experience with other women and with yourself when you're going through that? Or if you've even looked at it? Like, it's okay if you haven't, but I'm wondering if you have. I'm sure others are too. Talk about it. You guys are already done with your food set, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys can talk a little bit.
Yeah. I have one more.
Oh, you do?
I have one more slow.
Like, you did not get that.
You were just moving
If anybody was
faster.
watching and counted my sets.
You did 3.
Well,
I was watching.
Okay.
My different.
Yeah, because I passed you. That's what happened. Because
Yes, you went to the next one and I wasn't.
passed you on the second set.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Because I was just too slow.
Eh.
I have not noticed any difference at all. Full disclosure, I'm on IUD. And so
Yeah.
I rarely have periods at all. So I know that I'm supposed to be having them, but I don't know when they are. So I don't know. I haven't noticed a difference.
Are you supposed to have that?
You'll get them. Some you won't. Some, at least that's what they told me.
Okay.
But it's the kind that I'm still having a cycle.
Right. Yeah.
I just don't have a cycle.
Because that's what happened. I know someone
Just so
that has
thin.
that too.
My understanding is that it's so thin, it's not really happening until it
Yeah.
builds up enough. So it's very
I have struggled with hormone health for basically my whole life. But the thing that Jamie kind of touched on is there's not a lot of research. I haven't really found a lot of help. Everybody just wants to put me on like a hormonal supplement, and that's just not for me right now. I don't want to do that. Part of my struggles with my hormones, it shows in my acne. I've had acne since I was 11. I'm going to be 30 in like 2 weeks, and I still have acne. So mine manifests in like those kinds of ways. I do have difficulties like with periods, and something I definitely noticed how Jamie said, she can still lift the same intensity and do those things. For me, I really notice a difference in my body, and I try to respect that. I think in my past, like I've just kind of pushed through it or kind of ignored what that could be, but now as I'm maturing and learning and at the phase of my career that I'm at, I think I've learned to pay attention to those things more, which has helped me a ton. And for me, my unique thing now that Jamie's kind of helping me with in PT is my hip. For those of you guys who don't know, I've had 3 labral tears in my hips in college and had those repaired. And those have been kind of flaring up off and on the last couple of years, but this last year or so, year and a half or so, it's been really significant. And it's gotten a lot better. I'm doing everything that I want to be doing. But a big thing that happens to me is my hip. I don't really have hip pain any other time besides when my cycle is coming to my period, and I have that's when my hip pain is the most intense. And for a second, like Jamie and I were kind of thinking it was just a flare up from my training. And then she said to me, well, when is that, does that coincide with like your cycle at all? And I'm like, well, shoot, maybe a little bit. And then the next couple of periods that I had, of course, like it was right before. So that's just something that now I'm able to monitor and kind of, again, like just respect what my body's feeling more. And still like get out of my body what I need to as far as workouts and activity wise, just knowing, okay, I need to be extra good on my exercises this day. I need to do more for warm up. I need to do lighter weight on this movement and those kinds of things. And I think that's helped my overall balance and just not feeling as crappy during the time. But again, that's not something I learned or implemented until like this year, really. So that's my experience.
Yeah, I would say hormone health is a big one for all right, you guys want to do abs or arms? Pendulums and T-ball walkout to pike, or barbell overhead press and pike push-ups.
Honestly, they both sound like that.
They're both
What's
four
the
sets.
pendulum?
Pendulums are bent knee or straight, whichever.
Inside the side.
Cool.
Yeah, that might feel kind of good actually. I think I might want to do that.
Alright, I'm gonna do arms.
I think I'm gonna regret that with the walkouts, but
The walkouts are rough.
how many? What's sets on those? 4 sets of what?
I think it's 4x20 total, so 10 to each side on pendulums, and then 4x10 for T-ball walkouts to pike. Barbell overhead press is 4x8, RP is 8, and pike push-ups 4x10.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if I have a lot more to say about hip pain, menopause, and all of that stuff.
Questions.
Yeah, no, we didn't get any questions. We just had Larita letting us know that you couldn't hear us, which thank you. I'm really happy we didn't spend the whole podcast not talking. And just being like, da. Can you read our lips? But, yeah. So basically, all that to say, this is what, we're going through a workout right now, but a lot of the stuff we give our patients looks like this. It's not quite as intense. Don't get me wrong. It's not like you come in with...
Depending on where you're at.
Right, exactly. Like, let's say you've never lifted a barbell before. I'm not bringing you up here and we're chucking weight around. But, like, whatever weight is heavy for you, whether it's body weight, whether it's a barbell with 300 pounds on it, it doesn't matter. Like, that's what we're grading to build you back up after we get you out of pain. So, if you want your PT to look like this, let us know. If you have questions for us, send them in the chat here or in a comment. And we're looking for more topics to talk about. So whatever you guys want to hear us discuss or a workout you want to see us do, put it in the comments. If you're a patient of ours and you want to see us suffer a little bit, like we've made you suffer, just let us know.
Happy Thanksgiving. See you in 2 weeks.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
See you in 2 weeks.
That's also what
Bye.